And good afternoon, everybody. My name is Eric Perugini. I'm here with my broadcast partner, as always, Chris Lahiff. Patrick is on vacation this week, so we're doing back to our old two-man show. This is the Philly podcast presented by CEVSports.com. And tonight we have a very special guest with us in lieu of the MLB All-Star Game coming up. We are going to be speaking tonight to Rick Curdy of the Charlotte Bats. And if you don't know about the Charlotte Bats, they were mentioned as a few teams were by Commissioner Manfred a while back about possible expansion franchises. And we have Rob on the show tonight to just raise some awareness to, let everybody know, we want to see a baseball team in the Queen City. I mean, you have other pro sports in the city. Why not Major League Baseball? And Rob is here tonight to discuss that with us and make his pitch. And we're going to help him get his word out. So with that, Rob, good evening and welcome to the show.
Thanks, Ash, for having me on your program.
No problem, man. Anytime. So how long has this been in the works now with the Charlotte Bats?
I started this about 6 years ago. I'm originally from Los Angeles, so okay. I was spoiled out there. I had two of everything, to baseball, to football, to, basketball. And so I came to Charlotte, about 12 and a half years ago. And I just said, you know what? Charlotte's got everything. We got we got the beaches like 4 hours away. Mountains are right here. A lot of transplants. We got football. Why don't we have Major League Baseball? So I had to make a decision. Either I want to do something about it or wait. And I didn't want to wait. So I just went in there and said, let's see what we can do about it.
Oh, very nice. So okay, you're spearheading this. So what is your role with this? Because I'm imagining you have to have some major backing to start a Major League Baseball franchise in any city. Walk us through what that process is like.
Well, it simply started on Facebook. I just started a page called Let's Bring MLB to Charlotte, and just ask people, like, I'm not from here. I didn't grow up here. I grew up in a very large city that had Major League Baseball. And I just asked people, why hasn't North Carolina never had a Major League Baseball team? Like, not one time. I mean, Washington, D.C.'s had 3, and North Carolina hasn't even gotten one shot yet. And I didn't really think that was fair. Like, we could support it because we have football and basketball, and we got South Carolina next door that doesn't even have any pro teams. And so little by little, it just evolved. And we came up with a name, we came up with uniforms, a petition, and little by little it's been growing. And I'm on awesome shows like this to share my story.
That's awesome. So where did the name Charlotte Bats come from?
Well, there was a minor league baseball team in Greensboro called the Greensboro Bats from 94 to 2004. They changed their name and they're called the Grasshoppers now. And so we just thought, Bats is a cool name. I like bats. I don't know any, but I like the name. There's no Major League Baseball team with that name, and we thought that the name had connections with North Carolina, because people would always ask me, make sure that the name, has something to do with Charlotte or North Carolina. Bats are very common out here, and people liked it, so we just say, hey, how about Charlotte Bats?
Nice. So, what you call it? Like, if anyone wants to see the uniforms, they actually have them up. They do have them for sale at charlottebats.com. You can go into their shop and check everything out. They have hats, jerseys. I believe they have some other cool merchandise. But yeah, I was checking it out, and I just felt that this was a very interesting story. My broadcast partner, Chris, is a huge baseball fan, and I just kind of figured this would be a fun story for him since he just got back from the Baseball Hall of Fame. And, I'm sorry, Chris, where did you go? Was it?
The Louisville Slugger Hall of Fame.
Louisville Slugger Hall of Fame. And we were talking about, and we thought leading up into the All-Star game that this would be a very cool story to talk about and give you guys a push. And, personally, I would love to be able to go to Charlotte and see a baseball game. I haven't been there for any other sport. Chris, you have any questions for Rick?
No, I mean, obviously, we're like we said, I'm a baseball guy. You know, I had after this, I have a baseball podcast. It's called the Diamond Club Podcast. We talk about the Phillies. Last week we were talking about the draft, and my partner's John, who's commenting. He does one called the Frozen Rope Podcast. So we're baseball guys. So anytime we can talk baseball for 45 minutes, I love it. So obviously with the All-Star game, Otani going insane, 33 home runs before the All-Star break. It's you know obviously the Phillies winning going 7-3 the last 10 games, and unfortunately a really big blow to baseball is Acuna getting hurt.
Yeah.
Acuna, I'm sorry, and gotta say his name right. So, but that's devastating. I didn't even watch the injury, so that's how bad I was upset because I hate him. He's a Brave, but he's what's great for baseball. Him and Tatis and Guerrera and Bichette, all these kids that we watched growing up, their dads play. Now we're watching their kids play, and I think it's really good for baseball. And any baseball fan, as much as some people don't like Friedman right now, baseball is up and coming. I know it's a long season and there's 162 games, and some people can get bored with it. I would say you got to be a special type of person to love baseball. Anybody who loves baseball, there's always a story behind it. Like my story is my uncle. My uncle always used to take me to the vet. Like he always, me, him, and my brother would go all the time. We would go to the vet. I was there for Von Hayes', it was at the 2 home runs in 1 inning. One of them was a grand slam against the Mets. I was there for that. I was there in '93 when the Phillies and the Blue Jays set the record for most runs scored in a World Series game. I was there when Kim Baptiste had the game-winning hit after he committed the error in the 9th inning in the NLCS. I was there for the last game at the vet. I was there for Game 5, Part 1 of the World Series. So I have a lot of history with Phillies behind me. And I'll turn it over to Eric, and then we'll give it to you, Rick. Eric's love for baseball comes from his grandmother. She's old school. She used to go to Shibe Park, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Eric.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So he has a whole story, and for baseball, it's just I remember just sitting, listening to Harry Cowles, on my radio. It's you just like the movie with Kevin Costner. It's just for love of the game. You fall in love with it. There's always good stories in Major League Baseball. You could for all the scandals with the Astros and everything else. There's always great stories behind any other story. Any other bad story, there's 10 great stories. So with that, Eric, I'll go to for your love of game where it comes from, and then we'll give Rick his so he can get his spiel.
Okay.
We'll get his story. I know, yeah. Acuna. He corrected me.
Yeah, like Chris was saying, my love went from my grandmother, who recently just passed away at the age of 99. So she lived a good life, and the article that I wrote about it in her tribute to her is on our website at cevsports.com. But honestly, Rick, back to the story of the bats. Is there any progress with Major League Baseball on actually being able to get a team ready to go in, I don't know, let's say the next 5 to 7 years?
Yeah, I mean, the thing that was holding everything up was what's going to happen with the Athletics and what's going to be happening with the Tampa Bay Rays. That's one thing Commissioner Manfred said he wanted to get settled before he expands about stadiums with them. And it's getting very interesting in Oakland because I think we're going to be calling them the Las Vegas Athletics very, very soon. It looks like that's what's going to happen. I don't know what's going on with Oakland. I guess they don't like pro teams in Oakland, so they keep losing them. But, that's one of the first hurdles that we got to get through is what's going to happen with the Athletics and the Rays. Rays, they're trying to work out some deal with the Expos. I don't know how that's going to happen. Are they going to be Tampa Bay, Montreal Rays, or whatever happens? Or I think the Athletics are probably going to go to Las Vegas. I just don't see them staying in Oakland. This thing's been dragging on for so long. And for the Athletics to explore all that, you can tell they're tired of it too. And so once they get those things situated with Tampa Bay and Oakland, they'll expand, and hopefully they'll expand with us. We'll see. I think it'd be great to see a team in Charlotte and Nashville. I think those are the two places they'll pick. And
I was just gonna ask you, what have you heard
yeah,
about Nashville? Because like John, my broadcast partner, he has said that Nashville is like a hot commodity for a baseball team. So
it
obviously
is.
you would have the inside scoop, as you know, you're doing your best to bring Charlotte baseball.
Well, the good thing is that they'll expand by two. So if they do pick Nashville, they're going to, they'll pick another team. So um, I believe it'll be Nashville and Charlotte. So I saw someone say that they think it was like a bluff, or that they're trying to get a new stadium. But this thing with Oakland's been dragging for so long. They're sick of it. I know Manfred's sick of it, and they've been trying to get this thing going with Oakland for so long. So I think they're going. I think they're going to go to Las Vegas. I used to live in Las Vegas for 5 years, so I know they can support a team out there. They'd be great. They got hockey now, and they got the Raiders now. So I think I'm going to go on the limb and say the A's will go to Las Vegas, and they'll expand with Nashville, and they'll expand with Charlotte.
Okay. Now,
Yeah, I would love this. Go ahead. I'm just saying,
go
I
ahead.
would love to see Nashville. I was there when I went to Kentucky a couple weeks ago. We drove out to Nashville just to go, obviously walk Broadway and everything. It's hard to do it with 6 kids because I was there with my other family, and just the area down there. Like you have the Bridgestone Center up the street, and then you have the football stadium across the street. Now I would assume they wouldn't use the football stadium for baseball. They would probably build their own somewhere around that area because there's a river connect going from the Broadway to the other side. So I like you said, I think Nashville would be great. I like you said, up until I spoken to you, I haven't heard anything about Charlotte. But you had put that post about 10,000 fans went to a minor league game. That's a big deal. Like I don't think people realized like how big of a deal 10,000 fans is as a minor league game.
It
very
is.
big.
It is. When I first moved here, the Charlotte Knights AAA team were in South Carolina. They were in a city called Fort Mill, which is about 20 minutes away. And before I stepped foot in Charlotte, I said their attendance must suck. Who in the world is going to drive 20 minutes to go see a AAA baseball team? They can't even do that for the Rays, and they're Major League Baseball. And I was right. Their attendance was like 3,000 a game. It was god awful and dead last in minor league baseball. So they actually finally got to move to Charlotte. There was actually another guy who was trying to bring MLB to Charlotte. He sued the Knights because he thought getting a minor league team out there would hurt us, and it didn't work. So they eventually got the Knights to come to Charlotte, built this awesome looking stadium, and they've been like having one of the best attendance in all of minor league baseball. If it wasn't for the Knights being in Charlotte and for the attendance, I don't think we would be on that list. So that's a big contributing factor for our cause as well.
Now, for the Charlotte Bats, speaking of stadiums, is there a location picked out for their own stadium, or would they be they initially jump in with the Panthers to share their stadium?
Well, what I've heard that stadium for Bank of America can be expanded to baseball. Okay. We're actually going to get a Major League Soccer team next year, Charlotte FC. So that's another feather in our cap that we can support pro sports. So they'll be sharing that stadium with the Panthers. And for stadiums, I think the best location would be near Carowinds. It's like an amusement park. It's on the North and South Carolina border. And I think we can just if you put it like right down the middle of North and South Carolina, you can get people coming from South Carolina and North Carolina. I think that's what helps us with our cause, is that we're 2 states in one, since South Carolina doesn't have any pro teams at all. So that's going to be a big feather in our cap as well, where the other ones don't really have that sister state thing. We do. So I think that's another advantage that we have.
So
yeah, that would be pretty good.
Yeah, so John Hunter wants to know, you can buy a T-shirt off the website?
Yeah, actually, it's not up yet. We're gonna get it up very, very soon. But
okay.
You want to get one? Just send me an email at cltbatsbaseball@gmail.com. I'll send you one.
All right, yeah, because like I said, let me tell you something, man. John Hunter, like him and my other broadcast partner, Danny Hart, they're like I thought I was a huge baseball guy. They are stats, they are numbers. You like I watch baseball. I watch a lot of baseball. The best thing that happened was the MLB app for T-Mobile. I've been watching crazy games that I wouldn't even watch. Like seeing some of these Ohtani home runs has been great. So, and they had me like I was talking MLB draft with them last night. I've never watched the Major League Baseball draft ever in my life.
Yeah,
ever.
It's pretty
and
long.
I'm talking, and I was watching it today. They're up to they're going to 2 to 10 today and 10 to 20 tomorrow. Like these guys have made me like love baseball even more, which is pretty impressive. And just listening to their takes, like again, I thought I knew a lot of baseball. I look like a child, like I'm a child compared to these two guys. So I will reach out to you because, like I said, I have no problem supporting a new baseball team.
Me neither.
We'll wear it on our podcast. Like I said, I was like, oh man, Charlotte bat. I'm like, cool. I'll buy a new baseball bat for my son because he's talking about a wooden baseball bat league. I'm like, I'll get him. I'm like, whatever. We'll promote this. Like I don't care. And he's like, no, it's a baseball team. I'm like, oh, well, let me go on the website then.
Yeah. It's something that we feel really strongly for. We really believe that there are cities out there that would be a gold mine for Major League Baseball. We're just talking about Charlotte and Nashville. I think a lot of the things I've heard that Charlotte is a small market team, but so are the Athletics. So is Kansas City. So is Pittsburgh. There's a lot of small market teams. I mean, look at the Rays. They're as small market as you can get. They were just in the World Series, probably one of the best teams in all of baseball. So when I hear about this, a small market, big market, it really doesn't matter. It matters if you got the right players, right people, right city, and we feel like Charlotte is a gold mine because I mean, there's no team in Tennessee, there's no team in Virginia, there's no team in South Carolina. And all we have here are the Braves, and the second closest would be the Nationals. That's it. So we'd be smack dab in the middle, and it'd be a great rivalry with the Braves. It'd actually be a fun rivalry with Cincinnati because Cincinnati likes to call themselves the Queen City as well. And their state, they claim it's North Carolina, but Ohio. North Carolina is known for flying because the Wright brothers flew their plane here. They didn't fly it in, and I know they're from Dayton, Ohio, but they flew the plane in North Carolina. So Cincinnati would love to have a rivalry with you. It would be fun. That's what I love about it. It's just fun rivalries.
Right. So how far is Charlotte from like Tennessee and Nashville? Like, is it like a couple hours or is it like a long drive?
It's like 7 hours, I believe.
No. Okay. So it's the other part of the South.
Yeah.
So all right. So that's I was just wondering because, like I said, because that could sound like a good rivalry with a new expansion team. But like you said, if the Nationals and the Braves are closest, it's
we're like 5 hours. We're like about 4.5 hours from Atlanta. So it's near the I-85. So we can call it the I-85 series or some funny name like that. Yeah, I-85 series. So we're ready for Atlanta. We want to defeat Atlanta. People here are Braves fans because that's a close team we have, and I just can't support a team from another state, especially a rivalry state. I just can't do it. Even though I do support the Dodgers, but it's because we don't have a Major League Baseball team. They're not from LA, so.
So our buddy Will DeRosa says Charlotte is four horseman country because that's where Ric Flair's from.
Yeah.
So. And listen, listen, if you, like I said, if this gets going, just imagine the draw of having Ric Flair throw out the first pitch. Like,
woo!
Right. Everybody loves Ric Flair. There isn't anybody in their world who hates Ric Flair, maybe except his daughter during their skits. But like, come on, like who hates Ric Flair? Everybody would go pay money to go see Ric Flair throw. I mean, he went and he does speeches during hockey games. What's he know about hockey?
Yeah, he's the man. He's the man out here. I mean, he actually wrestled not far away from here at the Charlotte Convention Center, now called Bojangles Arena. And the original NWA was actually based in Charlotte. So Ric Flair was here. Magnum TA was wrestling here. Dusty Rhodes was wrestling here. All the greats were wrestled here. And actually the owner here's another baseball connection here. The owner, Jim Crockett, actually owned the minor league team called the Charlotte O's. And Cal Ripken Jr. actually played here during the early 80s. And unfortunately, the stadium burned down like in the 80s. But Cal Ripken actually played in Charlotte with the Charlotte O's with his brother, and his dad was the manager as well in the early '80s.
That's awesome.
See,
It's like it's like with Bill on, like we hit everything. We got
Yeah.
baseball and wrestling all in one because that's great. Like all those tie-ins, like you don't think about like what North Carolina actually provides. Like you don't
Yeah.
like you and then you think about it and you're like, oh well, like yeah. I mean, other than like basketball, no one really thinks about North Carolina. Like I know I don't personally. Like if
We
I
get
think of like
stereotyped.
right, unfortunately, it's a stereotype. You think of a Tar Heel, you don't think of
You think of
you know,
NASCAR and all that stuff, and we have the NASCAR Hall of Fame here, but nobody goes to it because we have so many transplants. We have so many Northerners here. That's the great thing. Nobody hears from Charlotte. I mean, nobody hears from North Carolina. It's very rare to meet someone here from Charlotte. Everybody's here from like Philadelphia or Pittsburgh, Los Angeles, Chicago. A lot of Ohio people here. A lot of Michigan people here. I mean, we're all transplants out here. So I think so, and I know a lot of people here from New York would love to see their Yankees here, or people would like to see the Dodgers or the Angels. And I mean, it would be phenomenal for our city because we've never had Major League Baseball. There's only been one Major League Baseball game played here. That was on 4th of July, about 4 or 5 years ago, and it was over in Fayetteville, North Carolina, and it was on the Fort Bragg military base, and it was between the Braves and between the Marlins. And that was a while ago, and that's the only time they've ever had a pro Major League Baseball game in North Carolina, ever, which is astounding to me. It's an old state, so it's astounding to me.
That's amazing. That is really amazing. And wow, and a little Ric Flair thing for you, Chris. You forget he was at Wing Bowl one year, our
Yes,
famous Wing Bowl that we used to have. But that's really awesome, man. But I really hope that this like really works out for you guys because I mean I've heard a lot of great things about Charlotte. I've never been there, but I would definitely go there for a baseball game. And I personally know 6 guys that have a bucket list that they're working on right now where they are trying to hit every single Major League Baseball park. And if this were to happen, it just gives them another reason to get away from the family for a weekend and do another guy's trip. So they'd love it. They'd love it.
And we got great barbecue out here. I know you guys got great Philly cheesesteak sandwiches. So, you guys can come here, bring your Philly cheesesteak sandwiches, and you can have some great barbecue out here. And we have fried pickles. I don't know, do you have fried pickles out there?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
I mean, they're not fried. I mean, they're frozen fried pickles. I haven't seen any fresh fried pickles. I could be wrong, but I work in the food industry, and we sell 10-pound boxes of fried pickles. So I don't know how like in Philadelphia if they're fresh.
Well, I can tell you the bar that I used to be part of. We had fresh fried pickles. The chef would he would cut them, bat them, and throw them in, and you got fresh fried pickles, and they were astounding.
Well, there you go.
They were so good. They were so good. But yeah, man, Rick, I really love everything about this, and I really wish you guys the best of luck with this endeavor, trying to bring a professional baseball franchise to Charlotte. I mean, it sounds amazing, and I for one, like I'm not a huge baseball fan, but I for one would take that trip to check it out.
It's a great place, a great city, and a lot of great people. And we are huge baseball fans here. And over the years since I've been here, Charlotte has transformed itself to a great professional sports town, not only with the Panthers, not only with the Hornets, not only with hockey. We have a hockey team in Raleigh, but Charlotte FC is coming here. And David Tepper, he's got the money right now. So, I know he likes to invest. So, Mr. Tepper, are you watching? We need a Major League Baseball team here. Since you brought soccer, let's bring Major League Baseball.
I'm all for it. I'm stoked now.
Yeah, I'm all for it. Now, like, if where the stadium that is proposed to be at, like, how, because obviously, is it down the I-95 corridor? Is it off? Is it, is it a drive off of I-95? Because obviously, where we go, everything we get to is basically off I-95. Like, I'm driving to Florida next month, so I'm gonna pass that area. So I was just wondering, like, because like I said, I don't know where Charlotte Stadium is, where the Panthers play. I don't know where Raleigh, North Carolina is, where they play. Like,
yeah, well, we play. Our downtown is called Uptown. So when you hear me say Uptown or other people talk about Uptown, that's downtown, and that's where the Panthers play at Bank of America's Uptown, and where Carowinds is at. Yeah, it's in that area with the I-85 and all that. So it's right there. It's a great area. A lot of people go there, and it's like smack dab, like literally in the middle of North and South Carolina. So I mean, it's right on the border right there.
Nice.
Good.
Well,
that's very cool. Hey, like I said, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, like, I'm a hat guy, so I'll definitely be sending an email because I'll rock a hat for you guys on our show.
Awesome, appreciate it. Thank you. Thanks for all the love out there.
No problem.
Yeah. So we will we'll put this up. Well, this is being live streamed to Twitter. It's on Facebook. It's not on Twitch, but we will put it on Twitch. It's on YouTube. So the word will be out. Follow them on Twitter. We'll put the Twitter handle on our Facebook page. We'll put the Facebook page on our Facebook page. I mean, it's real easy. It's the Charlotte Bats. I tagged them in a post today. Do you have an Instagram?
Yeah, we're at Charlotte Bats. Everything's Charlotte Bats. Twitter, Charlotte Bats Baseball. My email address is cltbatsbaseball@gmail.com. And actually, my personal Facebook page actually says Charlotte Bats. So I actually have people come up to me and call me Mr. Bats, and I turn around like, who's this Mr. Bats guy? And I'm like, oh wait, that's me. I'm Mr. Bats. I'm Mr. Bats.
Nice.
So yeah, we'll definitely reach out about like a hat or a shirt because, like I said, listen, I'm all about hats, as you can see, and John likes t-shirts, but we'll reach out. We'll be in touch. In the future, keep us informed. Like anytime you want to hop on, like you're more than welcome. Like that's the one thing about our podcast is we welcome anybody on. We may be Philadelphia based, but we'll talk sports with anybody. Like whether it's hockey, baseball. I couldn't do NASCAR. I can't do NASCAR.
I can't either. I mean, like I said, this is like NASCAR country out here. With Dale Earnhardt from North Carolina, Richard Petty, two of the greatest legendary race car drivers ever. I'm just not a big NASCAR guy either. I loved it when Dale Earnhardt Sr. would race, and I remember when he won the Daytona 500 because he finally got that monkey off his back. And when he passed away, I just can't get into it anymore. And I'm really not a big fan of NASCAR. I can't see watching grown men racing around in circles in a car. It's not my bag. No offense.
Make it interesting. Put their wife in the passenger seat and let them just nag them.
Put them in rush hour traffic.
Well,
that would be fun.
Well, the funny thing is, I didn't even know that in the Carolinas that's where the NASCAR Hall of Fame was. I had no idea. So you taught me something there. And my girlfriend and her dad are huge NASCAR fans. So I'm sure now when I tell them about this podcast, they're going to want to take a road trip. So
it's right it's right in Uptown. There we go again, Uptown, Charlotte. That's where we have the NASCAR Hall of Fame. We got everything up there. We got the Panthers there. We got the Knights playing there. So it's we'd have the NASCAR Hall of Fame out there. So
it's funny. It's just like
nice.
You think about North Carolina, and they for me, my North Carolina fame is, I was down there this past winter, and my wife had to drag me. My wife dragged me everywhere because she wanted to do a One Tree Hill visit. So we visited all the spots where One Tree Hill was shot.
Yeah, they used to film that there. I think Dawson's Creek, the part where he's like on the boat. I think that's filmed in North Carolina as well.
Yep.
Shallow
we went
Hal,
there too.
The movie Shallow Hal is actually filmed in Charlotte.
I did not know that.
Yeah, if you watch it, he's in Uptown. When I first saw it, I just moved here, didn't know about it, and someone told me you should watch the movie Shallow Hal with Jack Black. It's actually filmed in Charlotte. And so I watch it now, and it's like, hey, I know exactly where he's at right there. So that's kind of cool. A lot of movies are filmed here. This is like a little hidden jewel that a lot of people don't know about. But I mean, it's exploded with the growth. It's one of the fastest growing cities for the past 20 years. North Carolina is growing like crazy, and so many people are moving out here.
I totally feel like I know more about Charlotte, North Carolina now than I do my own city here in Philadelphia. Like you're like a historian for Charlotte.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and people would ask me, like, did you grow up here? I was like, no, I'm from Los Angeles. And they're just like, what? And they go, you know more about North Carolina than me, and I've lived here. And I say, well, you should see my mom. She knows way more about it than I do. I gave her this big book about Charlotte and the history, and she like, this is so amazing, the city. It's so fascinating, the history here, with Queen Charlotte, and that's how we got the name from Queen Charlotte, and it's just like I said, it's a great city. I came out here, didn't know nothing about North Carolina, never been to Charlotte, never come close to it. I came here and I fell in love with the city, and I've been here 13 years.
So
that's awesome.
So that's where Charlotte Flair came from.
Yes, it's from Queen. It's from Queen Charlotte. King George. King George. His wife was named Charlotte, and that's how Charlotte, North Carolina came. And she came from German descendants, and the people that founded Charlotte were from Germany. And so when they're thinking about a name for a city, it's like, let's name after Queen Charlotte. And you got Charlotte, North Carolina right there. More useless trivia for me. I know a lot of useless trivia.
Hey, listen, you're going to need it if you're trying to get this baseball team.
I was just going to say that.
You got to, listen, you got to get that push. So listen, if this comes through, we want tickets. I'll buy them. But
you can throw out the first pitch.
I ain't throwing out the first, but no, you can have Ric Flair do that.
I'll do that. I'll throw out the first pitch.
You and Ric Flair can do it.
Yeah, now Bill's gonna get a chop in, but yeah, like that, like I said, like now, well, before we finish this up, like, do you know how big the stadium would be? Like, what would be the proposed seating?
I would say, stadiums when I was growing up, they were like 45,000. It's smaller now, so I would think like a 32, 34 seat stadium, 1,000 seat stadium would be good. A lot of like when I grew up, I remember watching the Indians play at that god awful municipal stadium that seated 75,000. And and unfortunately the A's have that now because they added on so much with the Raiders, and now the Raiders are gone, and I feel bad for the A's. And I mean, you got 40,000 people there, looks like nothing. So I think like a good 35,000 seat stadium would be perfect for Charlotte.
Sounds awesome. That sounds real awesome.
Because like PNC Park, which is in that's Pittsburgh, their stadium isn't that big, and it's beautiful. Yeah. Like I was there years ago. We went out there to go for the Phillies trip, and it was beautiful, and I loved it.
Yeah, I love that
gate.
I love that bridge.
It wasn't too big.
Yeah.
Yeah, the yellow bridge going right in.
Yeah. Yeah.
But so you have anything else to add, Eric?
No, I mean, Rick, you have been an amazing guest, and
thank you.
I'm just you've actually been one of our biggest guests that we've had so far. Because you're like in the know, you're in the conversations, you know what's going on, and it's really awesome to talk to someone with that kind of insight and again the knowledge of the area. And yeah, just a real pleasure to talk to you.
I appreciate it, guys. I hope to be on your show again, and thanks for giving me this format to talk about why Charlotte should get Major League Baseball. So I'm excited.
Definitely.
So you have any predictions for the Home Run Derby? Who's going to win tonight? Are you going to watch it?
Yeah, I mean, I'll watch it. We'll see what happens. I like Ohtani. I mean, how can I go without him? I mean, he's like the Babe Ruth of baseball right now. I mean, we never seen anything like this since Babe Ruth. I mean, I've never seen a guy be a pitcher and a starting hitter at the same time. So it's kind of amazing. So I like him a lot. So we'll see what happens. Acuna would have been my favorite, but he's out.
Right.
He was my favorite, but he's unfortunately Acuna fortunately is out for the year, and he would have been my pick. So unfortunately, he's out for the season.
Yeah, I was when he went down. Eric or somebody had sent me the tweet about it was like the Braves only status, and I had already heard that he got carted off, and then I was looking at it all night like Twitter, and there wasn't one negative thing about Ronald Acuna. Acuna.
You don't wish it on anybody. I mean, look at Conor McGregor. McGregor. A lot of people don't like him, but what happened to him? I mean,
it was terrible.
big fan of Conor McGregor, but I mean, I don't wish that on my worst enemy. That's awful. And then to see those pictures of his foot going backwards, and it's like, oh my God, I can't even look at this. So
right.
I wish those guys the best and speediest recovery, because the sports need them.
Right, and then that's what I said. Like, a guy had texted, my buddy Bill. He's a big Conor McGregor guy, and he, we were talking, and I was like, him and Acuna getting hurt, it's just bad for the sport.
Yeah.
As cocky as Conor McGregor is, it's the guy is, he worked his butt off for what he was, for where he was in the beginning of his life to where he is now. Like, how can you not respect him? Yeah. I have my issues with him, but I have his because of his game, like of his as a person. He's an awesome human being. There isn't a bad thing about him, other than when he attacked Khabib, which, that was, I feel like that was staged either way.
It is. It's like wrestling. So I remember when they were doing the pose, and he had his little dukes up, which was kind of funny.
Right.
And then he kicked the guy, and the guy was like laughing. Poirier was like laughing, and that's just what I look at MMA. So it's almost turned into like pro wrestling. And I'm at the end they hug each other. It's just all game. If you go in there and be all nice and shake hands, people don't want to see that. Unfortunately, they want to see people fighting and arguing and cursing and making fun of your relatives. So to me, it's gone to like the shows are more like kind of like pro wrestling, but those guys are like the toughest SOBs in there. You couldn't pay me $1 million to get in the ring with anybody on there.
I will never talk trash on this radio anywhere. I will talk trash by myself when there's no one around, so it can't get repeated. I'm not gonna say it to his face. Yeah, all right, McGregor, you're this, you're that. No, I'm not getting throat chopped or karate kicked in the throat. Get out of here.
I would get annihilated, and I don't care who it is, Ken Shamrock, Dan, and I remember watching the first UFC pay-per-view, and I remember seeing Royce Gracie versus Ken Shamrock, and that was fantastic. And to see how much it has grown.
We're going with Ken Shamrock after the WWF days.
Ken Shamrock, and Royce Gracie, to me, he was like the greatest UFC fighter ever. This guy was like 6'1", 185 pounds, clean cut, wearing his karate suit, and they had no weight divisions back then. So he'd fight guys that were like 6'5", 300 pounds, and he beat them all the time. So I remember those early days of UFC and all that, and to see how much it has grown and as absolutely is taken over boxing right now, and it's amazing what Dana White has done with that sport. He is really, truly a genius.
Look, he promoted Conor McGregor into a boxing match. And I didn't bet on the fight, but I knew McGregor wasn't winning. But the guy went 8 rounds with Floyd Mayweather. Like, if you ever boxed, for him to go 8 rounds, I got a lot of respect for McGregor. Like, when it comes to stuff like that, I boxed on the weight, and for 2 rounds, and I'm like, I'm done. I'm gonna have a heart attack. Someone's gonna take me to urgent care. Like, I'm not doing this. And these guys, like McGregor went from a whole completely different fighting, and he trained, and here you go.
Exactly.
It's amazing. 10 rounds. So, well, like I said, hopefully, we get this stadium and we get this Major League Baseball team in, because, like I said earlier in the show, 10,000 fans at a minor league game, like that's a huge deal. Like that's like, I just went to a game a couple of weeks ago, with the Trenton Thunder, and there was not 10,000 fans there.
Yeah, it's just like I said, it's a big growing city. We're one of the largest metro cities without a Major League Baseball team. And there's nothing really around us. And, to me, it's just a perfect spot to get a Major League Baseball team. We got everything else. The only thing we need in North, like I said, the only thing we need in Charlotte is a Major League Baseball team and a beach. We don't have any beaches out here. You got to go to 4 hours away to Wilmington, North Carolina. So maybe that's the next thing I can get when we get our team. We can get a Major League Baseball team and get a beach. Because we need a beach out of here, especially me. Right. I grew up in Southern California, so I grew up around beaches all my life.
Yeah, that's
nice.
Good luck with building a beach.
Yeah.
But
awesome. Now I did see, or I may have seen it. Was there a petition for fans to sign to get in front of Manfred?
Yeah, we have a petition on our website. It's www.charlottebats.com, and you can go on our Facebook page at Charlotte Bats Baseball, and we have a group page called Charlotte MLB, and you can just sign away, leave a comment, and love to hear from everyone, and sign the petition, and we'll get in front of Manfred, and he still has Charlotte on that list. He started with Charlotte on that list. The list is shortened a little bit with 6 cities. He had Mexico City on there originally. He had Oklahoma City on there. He had New Jersey. They're not on there anymore. So the 6 places right now that they're looking at is Montreal, Portland, Charlotte, Nashville, Las Vegas, and Vancouver. Those are the 6 cities that he's looking to expand.
Nice.
I would just go with Nashville and Charlotte.
Yeah.
If I'm a betting man, those would be the 2 teams.
And I think Oakland will go to Las Vegas, and whatever happens at Tampa Bay, either they stay there or they have some kind of sister city thing going on with Montreal. I mean, I'm cool with that.
Which is weird. Like, they're gonna play 40 games in Tampa and 40 games in Montreal. That's just weird.
Yeah.
I had heard about that a couple. Actually, I think John, my one broadcast partner, I think he had brought that up too. About that. That just doesn't make sense. But
yeah,
what do I know? I'm sitting in my bedroom with a storm talking about baseball, and I'm like, why are they going to play in 2 different cities?
Right.
What do I know?
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it works out. But once those get situated, they'll expand, and you'll be hearing about Charlotte getting an MLB team. I feel like we're one of the favorites out there, and like I said, Las Vegas. I think we'll go to Oakland, and I mean, 2 of those names will be off the list. So the only ones I could think of right off the top of my head would be Nashville and Charlotte. We need more Major League Baseball teams in the South. We just have one in Georgia, Florida, and Texas. They don't even consider themselves the South. So it's only Atlanta right now. That's a true Southern team.
Does Charlotte have 4 seasons?
Yeah. Well, we don't get snow here. I mean, we get very little snow, but they literally shut down this whole city, and we get 1 inch of snow, and people are going to the grocery stores buying. And I still don't get it. The whole milk and bread thing where they buy milk and bread when it snows. I've asked everybody that. What is the reason for that? They tell me I have no idea. It's just something we do. I said maybe you guys like French toast. I don't know what it is, but yeah, we have the fall, we have the seasons. That's one thing I love about here. We don't have any seasons in Southern California, but here we got the fall and the winter. But when it snows here, it's like pandemonium, that people just act crazy, and it's like 1 inch of snow where you guys are at, or Buffalo, it'd be like 12 inches, and it's like, yeah, okay, no big deal.
Oh, it's a big deal because people still don't want to drive here.
Right,
now,
right.
Charlotte
is the Bats logo on the website?
Yep, the logo's on there, and the uniforms and everything like that. And if you go on our Facebook page, we have other pictures as well on there.
All right, just because going forward, we tend to try to do like 2 to 3. Like I do a Sixers show. That'll be done. I'm starting that in August. And then I do the Diamond Club, and then I do a hockey show, and then I do this one with Eric. But we're in the process of starting up a sports network. So I want to slap this logo up. Like, I don't know if you can see in the right hand, and it would be in my right hand corner, like my Homers for Hope logo.
Mm-hmm.
So your logo, like on a couple of our shows, would be up there.
Cool.
So
yeah,
as long as you're okay with it, like
I'll send you some. I'll send you some stuff. I'll send you some logos. Yeah,
because that way we can download it onto our StreamYard app, and get this out there so that get Rob on the phone. Like, let's go.
Yeah,
let's get this in the works.
I've been waiting for it to happen and all that stuff, and to see what's going on with Oakland is going to be very interesting. I know people think it's a ploy to get a new stadium. I just think that this has been going on for 20 years. They're fed up. They're tired of it. I'm tired of hearing about Oakland getting a stadium. I mean, and the way they've handled everything there with the Raiders, with the Warriors, they just said we're out of here. And it looks like I think the Athletics are going to be in Las Vegas. So that's just my prediction. I could be wrong, but I just see Oakland going to Las Vegas, and I see expansion in Nashville and Charlotte, and Tampa Bay will be the Tampa Bay Montreal Rays. There you go.
It just sounds weird.
Yeah,
it does.
So all right, so I can tell you that me and Eric, and I'm sure if Pat's listening, we're definitely rooting for the Charlotte expansion team, the Charlotte Bats, right?
Yep.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
So so after this will be downloaded. It'll be on Apple and Spotify. Eric takes care of all that. Like he blasts this out, and I put all the stuff out for the show on Facebook, but he'll put it all out on the market so that your information is out there so that we get this rolling. Maybe we can email this to Friedman and he'll listen to us.
Let's do it.
All right. So you guys are we done for tonight?
I don't know if anything else.
No, I'm good. I'm good. Like I said, I've been happily very impressed and more than happy with this show tonight.
And you could bring your girlfriend to North Carolina now that she knows that NASCAR Hall of Fame's on. So when she hears this podcast, like, honey, we need to go to Charlotte. There's the NASCAR Hall of Fame. This dude here just said that, and she'll look it up, and it's smack dab in downtown Charlotte or uptown, whatever they call it.
It may very well become the honeymoon destination. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Oh my God, get out of here!
Come on, Charlotte's a nice town.
I know, but I'm saying, get out of here. Where'd you go for your honeymoon? Hall of Fame NASCAR.
Liz would do it. Liz would absolutely do it.
Well, then I would do it. Then go ahead and do it. But like again, I love it. So, thanks Rick Curdy from Charlotte Bats. All his information, the website and everything will be up on our page. We'll actually put your website up we have a webpage too, cevsports.com. We'll put it up there for a direct link. And we'll get this, hopefully this gets as much exposure as possible so that we get this team out there, get that stadium built in the next couple of years.
Thanks, guys, for having me here. I appreciate it.
No,
Thank you for coming on.
All right, I'm going to end this. Thanks, guys, for listening.